At my wedding anniversary, my sister-in-law stood up and said, "Let's all pray for my sister's miscarriage last year." I stared at her in shock. What miscarriage? I never knew about any pregnancy. I slowly turned to look at my wife, Becca, but her face had gone completely pale. I thought it was just a misunderstanding, so I told my sister-in-law, "Lisa, I think you're confused. Becca has never been pregnant." Lisa's eyes went wide with horror. "Oh my God," she whispered, pressing her hand to her mouth. "Paul, I thought you knew." I thought. She stopped mid-sentence because everyone was staring at me with the same expression. My mother-in-law knocked over her water glass, reaching for Becca's hand. Natalie, Becca's best friend, had gone rigid in her chair. Even my brother Mike wouldn't look at me, just stared down at his plate. Lisa suddenly started backtracking, but every word made it worse. "The one last March," she stammered, "when you were at that sales training in Tampa. Mom drove her to the appointments. She caught herself, but the damage was done." My mother-in-law tried to change the subject. "This isn't the time. The hospital visits were private, but she accidentally made it worse." "Hospital visits? Multiple of them?" I turned to Natalie. She immediately looked away, but not before muttering, "Those 3 months were so hard for her." 3 months. My mind raced back to last March. Becca's food poisoning that had lasted 2 weeks. The stomach specialist appointments she said she needed to attend by herself. The prescription bottles she said were for anxiety. Her month-long depression where she barely left our bedroom. And the way she had flinched when I touched her stomach that week. Even the crying she blamed on work stress. "You were pregnant?" I asked Becca, but my voice came out cracked. "You lost our baby and never told me? You went through all that alone? Why?" She wouldn't meet my eyes, and that's when I realized something else. Every single person in this room knew, except me. "Why?" "Paul, please." Becca finally spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. "I didn't want to hurt you. I thought it would be easier if you never knew." "Easier?" I stood up slowly. "Why would knowing about our baby hurt me?" The word "our" hung in the air. Becca's hands covered her face, shoulders shaking. "Because," she whispered through her fingers, "because it wasn't yours." The room erupted. Lisa gasped. My mother-in-law stood up so fast, she knocked over wine glasses. But I just stood there, numb, as Becca's confession poured out. "It was during that fight last February, when you said we should wait 5 more years for kids. I was so angry, and your brother Mike was there. My brother, my older brother, who'd been my best man, who came to Sunday dinners, who'd helped plan this anniversary party." I looked at him. He finally met my eyes, his face full of shame. 8 weeks, Becca sobbed. "I was 8 weeks in when I lost it. I convinced myself that if I never told you, we could just move forward, start fresh. It was one mistake during a rough patch." My mind calculated over a year of lies. Every family gathering, every double date, every moment we had was built on deception. "You made me give a speech tonight," I said, my voice breaking, "about 5 beautiful years of marriage, while everyone here knew the truth." "Paul, wait. 2 betrayals," I said, stepping back. "The affair with my brother, and then every single day since when you decided I didn't deserve the truth, when all of you decided that." I walked toward the door. Behind me, I heard Becca collapse into her chair, heard my mother-in-law start to cry, and heard Mike finally speak. "Paul, please," but I kept walking. As I reached the door, I turned back one last time. "It's not over, by the way. I'll see both of you in court."